Power. It controls kingdoms. It shapes leaders. It destroys the unprepared and rewards the strategic. But here is the truth no one tells you. Power is always present. In your workplace, in your relationships, in conversations, in silence. Some people understand it and rise. Others ignore it and become controlled by it. In today's deep cinematic audiobook summary, we enter the world of strategy, perception, influence, and psychological dominance. This is not about cruelty. This is about awareness. This is the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Listen carefully, because once you understand power, you can never see the world the same way again. Welcome to Silent Reader Audiobook.
Power. It is the invisible force that shapes kingdoms, builds empires, destroys leaders, and elevates ordinary people into legends. From ancient courts to modern boardrooms, from political battles to social relationships, power has always existed. It may not always speak loudly. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it hides behind smiles, but it is always present. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene reveals a truth most people avoid. Power is not about morality. Power is not about fairness. Power is about understanding human nature, and human nature does not change. For thousands of years, the same patterns repeat, the same desires, the same fears, the same ambitions. Those who understand these patterns rise. Those who ignore them become victims of them. The first lesson of power is simple: never outshine the master. It sounds small, almost harmless, but history is filled with examples of talented individuals destroyed because they made someone above them feel insecure. When you work under someone, a boss, a mentor, a leader, never make them feel inferior. Make them feel intelligent. Make them feel respected. Make them feel superior. Because power is fragile. Ego is fragile, and insecurity in powerful people is dangerous. You may be smarter, more creative, more capable, but if you shine too brightly, you become a threat, and threats are eliminated. The wise person knows when to dim their light, not out of weakness, but out of strategy. Power is not about showing strength. It is about surviving long enough to accumulate influence. The second law teaches something even deeper. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends betray because they feel comfortable. Friends become jealous because they compare. Friends expect special treatment, but an enemy who becomes an ally works harder to prove loyalty. They have something to gain. Trust should never be given blindly. Trust should be measured, because power requires emotional control. You must see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. Most people move through life emotionally. They act from impulse. They speak from ego. They trust from hope. But power demands observation, silence, patience. Study people. Understand what drives them. Fear, recognition, money, status, security. When you understand what someone wants, you understand how to influence them. And influence is power. Another powerful law teaches conceal your intentions. If people know your plan, they prepare against it. If people know your ambition, they guard themselves. Mystery creates advantage. When your actions are unpredictable, you control the game. This does not mean lying constantly. It means revealing only what is necessary. Let people underestimate you. Let them misjudge you. While they are distracted by assumptions, you move strategically. Powerful people do not reveal their full hand. They observe, they wait, they act at the right moment. Timing is everything. History proves this repeatedly. Many intelligent people failed not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked timing. Power is not only about what you do, it is about when you do it. Control your emotions. Never act in anger. Never react in humiliation. When you respond emotionally, you surrender power. When you respond calmly, you maintain control. Powerful individuals remain composed even in chaos, because emotional reaction reveals weakness, and weakness invites attack. Another dangerous truth: always say less than necessary. Silence creates authority. The more you speak, the more likely you reveal ignorance. The more you explain, the less you lose control. When you speak briefly and clearly, people listen carefully. Silence makes others uncomfortable, and uncomfortable people reveal information. Let them talk while you observe. Information is currency in the world of power. The one who knows more controls more. Never commit to anyone completely. Independence protects you. When you depend too much on someone, you surrender leverage. Build multiple alliances. Maintain flexibility, because power shifts, and when power shifts, those who attach themselves too tightly fall with it. Understand this clearly. The world is not a fair place. It never has been. Naive people believe in pure honesty and expect fairness, but history is not written by the naive. It is written by the strategic. This does not mean you must become cruel. It means you must become aware. You must see reality as it is, not as it should be. Power is a game. Some know the rules, some don't. If you refuse to learn the rules, you will still be part of the game, but you will not win. In the coming laws, you will discover manipulation, strategy, seduction, deception, patience, dominance. Not to become evil, but to become prepared, because ignorance is more dangerous than knowledge. Power does not corrupt. Power reveals. And when you understand power, you stop being controlled by it. This is only the beginning. The laws grow deeper, more intense, more strategic. Prepare your mind, because once you understand power, you cannot unsee it.
Power does not always belong to the strongest person in the room. It belongs to the one who controls perception. Because in the world of power, reality matters less than appearance. The next laws move into dangerous territory: reputation, attention, and psychological positioning. Law: court attention at all costs. Obscurity is death. If no one sees you, no one thinks about you. If no one thinks about you, you do not exist. Throughout history, powerful figures understood this deeply. They created drama. They created mystery. They created controversy. Attention is currency. It does not matter whether it is praise or criticism. Both create visibility. When people talk about you, you live in their minds. And the mind is where power begins. But attention must be controlled. If you allow others to define your image, they control your narrative. So shape it yourself. Craft how people see you. Because people respond not to truth, but to perception. Next law: guard your reputation with your life. Reputation is invisible armor. With a strong reputation, attacks bounce off. Without it, even small accusations can destroy you. People judge quickly. They label quickly. And once labeled, it is difficult to escape. So protect your name. Never allow small weaknesses to become public patterns. And if someone attacks your reputation, respond strategically, not emotionally. Destroy the source quietly. Because reputation is power before you even speak. Then comes another strategic truth: always make others come to you. When you chase, you lose leverage. When you beg, you lower your value.
Instead, create situations where others seek your approval. This reverses power dynamics. The one who is pursued holds power. The one who pursues loses it. Patience is critical here. Let others feel the need. Let them invest energy. When they move toward you, they value you more. Another powerful law: win through actions, never through argument. Arguments create enemies. Arguments create ego battles. Even if you win the debate, you lose influence, because no one likes being proven wrong publicly. Instead, demonstrate. Let results speak. Silence critics by success, not by words. Powerful individuals understand something essential. People remember how you make them feel, not what you logically proved. Next comes one of the most subtle strategies. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Energy is contagious. Mindsets spread. A constantly negative person pulls you into their emotional storm. They blame, they complain, they create chaos, and chaos weakens power. Choose associations wisely. Surround yourself with stability, ambition, discipline, because your environment shapes your momentum. Now the laws become even more strategic. Make other people depend on you. If people can function without you, you are replaceable. If people rely on you, you become necessary. Power increases when your absence creates difficulty. This does not mean controlling through fear. It means building unique value. Develop skills that are rare. Provide solutions others cannot. When your presence becomes essential, your position strengthens. Another subtle lesson: use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Sometimes one honest act can cover many strategic moves. One generous gesture can lower suspicion. People trust quickly when they see kindness, and trust opens doors. But kindness in power is not random, it is intentional. This is where many misunderstand the book. Power is not about cruelty, it is about awareness. It is about understanding human psychology deeply enough to navigate it safely. Next law: when asking for help, appeal to self-interest, never mercy. People act for their benefit, not yours. If you want cooperation, show how it benefits them. Do not beg emotionally. Present value. Because self-interest is a stronger motivator than sympathy. Then comes a dangerous but powerful idea. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Information wins wars. Information wins negotiations. Information wins influence. The more you know about others' motivations, weaknesses, desires, fears, the stronger your position becomes. Listen more than you speak. Observe more than you reveal. Power grows in silence. And finally, in this section, crush your enemy totally. Half measures create revenge. If you defeat someone partially, they wait, they rebuild, they attack again. History shows that unfinished conflicts return stronger. If you must confront, finish decisively. But remember, choose battles carefully. Not every fight deserves your energy. Strategic retreat is sometimes stronger than aggressive attack.
Power reaches its most dangerous form when it becomes invisible. When people do not feel controlled. When they believe they are choosing freely. When they think the idea was theirs. This is the realm of seduction, timing, and psychological dominance. One of the most important laws reveals a hidden truth. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Constant presence creates familiarity, and familiarity breeds contempt. When you are always available, your value drops. When you withdraw at the right moment,
curiosity grows. People begin to miss you. They wonder about you. They assign you importance. Powerful individuals understand the strength of distance. They do not explain their absence. They let it speak, because silence creates gravity. Another law teaches mastery over emotion. Keep others in suspended terror. This does not mean fear through violence. It means unpredictability. When people cannot read you, they cannot control you. When your reactions are unclear, others hesitate. And hesitation gives you time. Time is power. The unpredictable person dominates psychological space. Predictable people are easy to manipulate. Unpredictable people create imbalance, and imbalance favors the prepared. Then comes one of the most seductive principles: play to people's fantasies. People do not want truth. They want hope. They want escape. They want stories that make life feel meaningful. If you sell reality, you face resistance. If you sell dreams, you gain followers. This is why leaders, marketers, and influencers speak in vision, not facts. They do not say what is, they say what could be. Power grows when you align yourself with people's desires, not their limitations. Another law deepens this concept. Discover each person's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a pressure point. It may be insecurity. It may be pride. It may be fear of abandonment. It may be hunger for validation. Your strength lies in observation. The moment you identify someone's weakness, you understand how to influence them. This is not about cruelty. It is about awareness, because those who do not understand weaknesses are controlled by them. Timing now becomes critical. Law: be a master of timing. Never rush, never force. Observe the rhythm of situations. Act when conditions are ripe. History is filled with brilliant minds who failed because they acted too early or too late. The patient observer outlives the impulsive actor. Power is not speed. Power is precision. Then comes a warning: disdain things you cannot have. The moment something controls your emotions, it controls you. Desire weakens power. Obsession blinds judgment. When you show that something does not affect you, you reclaim authority. Indifference is a weapon. People chase what seems unattainable. They respect what appears unaffected. Next, the laws move into disguise. Create compelling spectacles. Humans are visual creatures. They respond to drama, symbols, rituals. Spectacle distracts from weakness. It magnifies strength. A single dramatic gesture can outweigh years of quiet work. This is why leaders stage moments. This is why history remembers scenes, not details. Control the image, and you control memory. Another subtle truth: think as you like, but behave like others. Standing out too much attracts danger. Rebellion invites attack. The wise strategist blends in until it is time to rise. Power often moves quietly before it moves loudly. Conformity is camouflage. Now comes a harsh lesson: stir up waters to catch fish. Calm environments hide truth. Chaos reveals intentions. When pressure increases, masks fall. People expose their loyalties, fears, and weaknesses. A controlled disturbance gives you information, and information strengthens position. But chaos must be managed. Uncontrolled chaos destroys everyone. Strategic chaos benefits the prepared. Finally, a law of restraint: despise the free lunch. Anything offered without cost has a hidden price. Dependence weakens autonomy. The powerful pay their way, because independence preserves leverage. As these laws unfold, the pattern becomes clearer. Power is not aggression. Power is orchestration. It is knowing when to appear strong and when to disappear, when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait. Those who master power do not rush. They observe, they calculate, they act decisively once, and then they let consequences unfold. You are not meant to apply every law blindly. You are meant to understand them, because understanding power protects you from being dominated by it. And in a world where manipulation is constant, awareness is freedom. This journey is not over. The final laws move into transformation, legacy, and absolute control, and they are the most dangerous of all.
Power at its highest level is no longer about survival. It becomes about transformation, about shaping perception so completely that others accept your authority without question. The next laws reveal something deeper than strategy. They reveal identity control. Law, recreate yourself. The world tries to label you. It defines you by your past, your mistakes, your background, your limitations. But powerful individuals refuse fixed identities. They reinvent, they reshape, they appear different when necessary. History remembers those who evolved, those who understood that identity is flexible. If people think they know you, they control you. If you surprise them with transformation, you regain dominance. Power thrives in unpredictability. Another law intensifies this concept. Keep your hands clean. Appear innocent. Let others carry blame. When mistakes happen, distance yourself from them. When conflicts arise, position yourself above them. Perception is stronger than reality. If people see you as calm, rational, balanced, they trust you, even if behind the scenes you made difficult moves. Powerful leaders rarely look aggressive. They look composed, and composition creates credibility. Now comes a dangerous principle. Play on people's need to believe. People crave meaning. They want symbols. They want rituals. They want something larger than themselves. If you can offer belief, you gain followers. It does not require perfection. It requires confidence. Certainty attracts. Doubt repels. Speak with clarity, even if internally you are calculating, because humans follow conviction, not hesitation. Another critical law: enter action with boldness. Once you decide to move, move completely. Half-hearted actions create doubt. Bold actions silence critics. Fear disappears when replaced by decisive energy. Hesitation leaks weakness. Confidence creates momentum. But boldness must follow preparation. Reckless courage destroys. Strategic boldness dominates. Next, the laws reveal something profound. Plan all the way to the end. Most people think short-term. They react emotionally. They celebrate early. But power demands foresight. Every action creates consequences. Every victory creates enemies. Every alliance has expiration. Think beyond the immediate reward. Visualize the chain reaction. True mastery lies in anticipating outcomes before others see them. Then comes a lesson of balance. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. If people see your struggle, they envy your effort. If they see ease, they admire your talent. Hide the labor, reveal only the elegance. Power increases when success looks natural. Mystery enhances reputation. Now we approach a transformative law: control the options.
When you give people limited choices, both leading to your advantage, you control outcomes without force. They believe they chose, but you designed the path. Subtle control is stronger than visible dominance. The next truth is sharp. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Appear less intelligent than your target. Let them underestimate you. Ego blinds judgment. If they believe they are smarter, they relax, and relaxation exposes weakness. Underestimation is an advantage. Never feel insulted by being underestimated. It is often the perfect disguise. Then comes an advanced lesson. Use the surrender tactic. When weaker, do not resist blindly. Yield temporarily. Observe. Regain strength. Return later with advantage. Strategic retreat is not defeat. It is delayed victory. History shows this repeatedly. Those who survive early weakness often return stronger. Finally, in this stage, concentrate your forces. Energy scattered becomes weak. Energy focused becomes unstoppable. Do not fight on multiple fronts unnecessarily. Choose your battles. Invest deeply where it matters, because intensity creates impact, and impact creates authority. As these laws unfold, one reality becomes undeniable. Power is not emotional. It is calculated. It is patient. It is aware. It requires you to separate ego from action. It requires discipline, and it requires self-mastery. The final part will reveal the ultimate stage of power: legacy, control over perception, and knowing when to stop. Because the greatest power is knowing how to maintain it.
Power reaches its highest form, not when it dominates loudly, but when it no longer needs to prove itself. The final laws are not about gaining power. They are about sustaining it, protecting it, and knowing when to release it. One of the deepest lessons: avoid appearing too perfect. Perfection creates envy, and envy is silent hatred. If you rise too flawlessly, people secretly wait for your fall. So reveal small flaws. Humanize yourself. Let others feel slightly superior in harmless ways, because envy destroys quietly, and quiet destruction is the most dangerous. Another powerful truth: do not go past the mark you aimed for. Victory can intoxicate. Success can blind. When you win, stop. Do not humiliate your opponent. Do not overextend your dominance, because humiliation creates revenge, and revenge waits patiently. Power is strongest when controlled. Then comes a lesson few understand. Assume formlessness. Rigid structures break. Flexible ones survive. When you attach yourself too tightly to one method, one identity, one strategy, you become predictable. Water takes the shape of its container. It adapts, it flows, it survives. The most powerful individuals are adaptable. They shift with circumstances. They adjust without losing direction. They bend without breaking. Formlessness protects you from attack, because you cannot strike what you cannot define. Another advanced lesson: know when to withdraw. Power is not constant expansion. Sometimes it is strategic disappearance. The spotlight burns. Visibility attracts pressure. There are moments when stepping back preserves longevity. Not every season is for dominance. Some seasons are for observation, recovery, preparation. The wise understand cycles. They do not cling desperately to position. They move with timing. And timing is everything. Now comes perhaps the most misunderstood principle: despise what you cannot control. If you allow external forces to disturb your inner stability, you surrender power. Detachment strengthens clarity. The more emotionally reactive you become,
the easier you are to manipulate. Mastery is emotional discipline. You do not react instantly. You observe, you assess, you decide. Power belongs to the calm. Then the final understanding emerges. Power is not about crushing others endlessly. It is about positioning yourself so strongly that conflict becomes unnecessary. True mastery is subtle. It is respected. It is acknowledged without force. The highest level of power is influence without resistance. At this stage, people follow because they want to. They cooperate because it benefits them. They respect because your presence commands it. But remember this carefully. Power is neutral. It magnifies who you already are. If you are disciplined, power expands discipline. If you are insecure, power magnifies insecurity. If you lack self-control, power accelerates destruction. So the ultimate law is not written in the book. It is internal. Master yourself before you attempt to master situations. Control your impulses. Control your ego. Control your emotions. Because without self-mastery, external power collapses. History is filled with powerful figures who conquered nations but could not conquer themselves, and they fell. Power without awareness is dangerous. Power with wisdom is transformative. As this journey through the 48 laws concludes, understand something important. You are already in the game, whether you choose to play consciously or unconsciously, whether you acknowledge power or deny it. It exists in workplaces, in relationships, in politics, in friendships, in negotiations, in leadership. The question is not whether power exists. The question is, will you understand it? Will you study it? Will you protect yourself from manipulation? Or will you remain unaware? This book does not demand cruelty. It demands awareness. It teaches you to see beneath smiles, to recognize strategy, to detect hidden intentions, to move with patience, to think beyond emotion, and above all, to remain in control of yourself. Because the most powerful person in the room is often the quietest, the calmest, the most observant. Power does not always shout. Sometimes it simply waits.
Power is not about shouting the loudest. It is not about forcing control. It is about understanding human nature and mastering yourself. The greatest power is emotional discipline. The greatest strategy is patience. And the most dangerous person in the room is often the calmest one. If this summary changed the way you think, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, are you playing the game blindly or consciously? This was the 48 Laws of Power. More deep audiobook journeys are coming soon. Subscribe to Silent Reader Audiobook and step into awareness, because knowledge is not just power, it is protection.